Yang Chen was confused, having so many questions. It was clear from the old man's words and arrangements that he was really leaving. But what did he mean by waiting for him at the foot of the mountain? Did he have something else to tell him? No, if he had something to say, why didn't he just tell him directly? And why did he have to bring Xiao Shui? Could it be? Yang Chen had a sudden realization. Was the old man planning to take her away from Firegate Mountain? Zhu Shimi was silent. Xiaoer had stopped crying, looking at Yang Chen with a lost expression. Ing Ba released his spiritual sense, searching the entire Firegate Mountain, but couldn't find any trace of the old man. After a long silence, Ing Ba said, Master has already left. Xiaoer pouted, looking at Ing Ba. Senior brother, is Master not coming back? Based on his understanding of the old man, he would likely not return. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said those things. However, to comfort Xiaoer, Ing Ba said uncertainly, Xiaoer, it's hard to say. Our mountain is Master's life work. I think he will return one day. Yang Chen looked at the absent-minded Jianwak and then solemnly said to Ing Ba, Senior brother, I want to take Xiao Ke out to travel for a while. We'll have to trouble you to take care of everyone here. Although Ing Da seemed rough, he was actually very perceptive. He could sense that something was off with Yang Chen's words. Wan Xiang had been easily killed by the old man, and the Donglin prefecture forces wouldn't risk staying in Dongchuan. It could be said that no one in Dongchuan would dare to challenge Firegate Mountain. But even if his junior brother was leaving to travel, there was no need to entrust his family to him, unless he was like Shen Langran and was leaving Dongchuan. Confused, Ing Ba asked softly, Junior brother, are you leaving too? Yang Chen knew that he couldn't deceive his senior brother and had to nod. Okay, Ing Ba nodded, accepting it. He promised, Junior brother, don't worry. With me here, everything will be fine. Yang Chen nodded at Jianwak and then left the bamboo forest, exiting Firegate Mountain. Xianlingxi, Xiaoer, and the others, who had just arrived at the mountain, like Shen Biogwan, Zhou Zhina, and Old Gongsun, were settled in Zizhu Ling Hall, a newly built large building. Seeing that Yang Chen seemed to be burdened with thoughts, Jianwak couldn't help but ask softly, Bro, are we also leaving Dongchuan? Although Jianwak was a bit simple, he was not stupid. Yang Chen wasn't sure either. He didn't know what to do. After a moment of consideration, he said softly, Xiao Ke, this is Master's arrangement. I'm also not sure if we're leaving Dongchuan. Unknowingly, Yang Chen and Jianwak arrived outside Zizhuling. Seeing the newly built large building in front of them, Yang Chen stopped. He really didn't know how to tell Qianlingxi and Xian Biogwan, especially how to say goodbye to Qianlingxi. He was very reluctant, but he knew that the old man's decisions were absolute. There was no way to negotiate. Approaching the building, Yang Chen heard cheerful laughter. It was clear that Xian Biogwan and the others were extremely excited about being able to settle down on the mountain. With heavy footsteps, he entered the main hall. Seeing Yang Chen and Jianwak return, Xian Biogwan, who was rarely smiling, said, Boy, Xiao Shui, you're back. We should really celebrate. Zhou Zhina also smiled happily. Boy, thanks to you, this old man is now part of the Firegate Mountain sacred ground. Old Gongsun didn't say anything, but he also had a smile on his face, looking a bit smug. Only Qianlingxi noticed something was off. She could clearly see that Yang Chen's smile was forced. Could something have happened? With his mind in a mess, Yang Chen thought of the old man waiting for him at the foot of the mountain. He couldn't delay. Lord Qian, Lord Ancestor. Yang Chen bowed deeply to Qian Biogwan, Old Gongsun, and Zhou Zhina. Boy, what's wrong? Qian Biogwan, Old Gongsun, and Zhou Zhina felt that something was off. They all stood up at the same time, looking confused at Yang Chen. What's with this sudden, strange behavior? Linger, Duanmu Menghua and Jing Yulua also felt that something was wrong, staring at Yang Chen curiously. Yang Chen didn't know how to begin. After a moment, he took a deep breath and said, Master ordered it. Xiao Ke and I have to leave for a while. We're not sure when we'll be back. You scared me. I thought something was wrong. So we're just leaving for a while. Hearing this, Shen Biogwan breathed a sigh of relief, glaring at Yang Chen. Zhou Zhina didn't quite believe him. Are you sure you're just leaving for a while? Old Gongsun's expression changed. You mean, you don't know when you'll be back? Qianlingxi, who had also realized what was going on, stared at Yang Chen. Are you not coming back? Yang Chen said helplessly, I don't know either. The cheerful atmosphere immediately turned heavy and solemn. After a while, Old Gongsun was the first to break the silence with a laugh. Boy, our mountain lord is an extraordinary person. His arrangements must have a deep meaning. You and Xiao Ke go on your adventure without worry. Young men should aim for the 4 directions. Now that Dongchuan is calm, it's time to see a wider world. Chen Biogwan was shocked. Lord! You mean, Boy and Xiao Shui will leave Dongchuan? Their cultivation is too low. Xian Biogwan was slapped on the head by Old Gongsun, who didn't say anything. Zhou Zhina also understood. If they weren't leaving Dongchuan, there was no need to act so serious. Outside of Dongchuan, the world was foreign and unpredictable. The atmosphere became heavy again. Donghuang Wangkai, who had been quiet, couldn't help but ask softly, Xiaochun, can I go with you? Before Yang Chen could speak, Xiao Lianer interrupted anxiously. Donghuang Wangkai had to give up the idea helplessly. Suddenly, old Gongsun laughed loudly. You are all talented. It's only a matter of time before you go to see the world. No need to rush. Boy, don't worry about us. The world outside is wonderful, but there are many dangers. You have to be careful. Everyone relaxed a bit after old Gongsun's words, but Yang Chen still looked troubled. Old Gongsun saw through him and asked, Boy, you're not in a hurry, you have to leave soon, don't you? Yang Chen nodded. After a moment of silence, old Gongsun turned to Qian Lingxi. Lingxi, go see them off. Linger, you go too. Yang Chen, Jianwalk, Qian Lingxi, and Xiao Linger silently left the main hall and walked along the mountain path. None of them spoke a word. Xiao Linger broke the silence, saying earnestly, Xia Shui, I heard women outside are very bad, so you have to be careful. Yang Chen, who was feeling a little sentimental, was amused by Linger's words. What are you laughing at? Qian Lingxi asked displeased. She glared at Yang Chen and said, Are you happy that you're finally free? Yang Chen wouldn't dare to argue. He said, Lingxi, you know what kind of person I am. Even if all the women outside are beautiful, I won't be tempted. Qian Lingxi smiled at Yang Chen. Do you even believe that yourself? She asked. Yang Chen was embarrassed. This woman, when she's being unreasonable, is truly unreasonable. Li Qingling not being present, Qian Lingxi turned to Jianwalk and said, Xiaokei, you have to keep an eye on your brother for me. If anything happens to him, you better remember it. It won't be long before I and Linger go look for you. Jianwalk nodded honestly. They had expected a sad farewell, but this scene made Yang Chen not know whether to laugh or cry. Qian Lingxi and Xiao Linger saw Yang Chen and Jianwalk off at the mountain gate. They reluctantly turned back only after they had left. Yang Chen muttered, Where's the old geezer? Wasn't he waiting below the mountain? Did he leave because I was taking too long? Good, then Jianwalk and I will head back. I'm here. Just then, the old man's cold voice came from behind Yang Chen, yet he couldn't be seen. After looking around, Yang Chen still couldn't find him. Let's go, he said helplessly. As Yang Chen and Jianwalk sped towards the mountain at the back of the water gate, they were baffled. Why are we going to the market? Aren't we leaving Dongchuan? The only way to leave Dongchuan is through Manhan City, so why are we going there? With many questions, Yang Chen and Jianwalk passed through the teleportation array of the water gate and arrived at the Water Court Chamber of Commerce. To his surprise, after waiting for a long time, Yang Chen didn't see the old man, nor did he receive any messages from him. Helpless, Yang Chen had to ask for a room at the Water Court Chamber of Commerce to stay for the night. As night fell, a dark figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere in Yang Chen's room. Go! Before Yang Chen could react, he found that his body was out of control, swept out of the room, along with Jianwalk. Not long after, when Yang Chen's vision had cleared, he realized that he and Jianwalk were no longer in the Chamber of Commerce. Although the place was dark, Yang Chen felt relieved. The dark figure didn't say anything. He just turned and walked toward the back of the place. Let's go, Yang Chen said to Jianwalk. At the back, there was a hexagonal platform. The dark figure flicked some frequencies out of his hand and into the slots of the hexagonal platform. Immediately, the platform emitted a black beam of light as tall as a person. Oh my, Yang Chen was shocked. He was familiar with this scene. Behind the black beam of light, there should be a passage. Could it be? Yang Chen guessed. The powerful Wan family controls a secret place in the imperial palace of Dongchuan, called the Yanma Deep Treasury. Go in. With the old man's voice echoing, Yang Chen and Jianwalk entered the black light. Go. The old man followed closely behind. After a brief spatial distortion, Yang Chen's vision was filled with a bright, fiery red light. Everywhere he looked, it was fiery red, full of strange spiritual creatures, stretching endlessly into the distance. Explosive fire energy with a hint of murderous intent filled the place. This is definitely the Yanma Deep Treasury controlled by the Wan family, Yang Chen determined. What he couldn't understand was, why did the old man bring him and Jianwalk here? Before Yang Chen could think further, the old man spoke, his voice as cold as ever. Boy, there's a demon here. It's just right for your semi-finished black wooden arrow to become complete. A demon. Yang Chen's heart skipped a beat. He suddenly recalled something. When he came to the market for the first time, he had accidentally obtained the Black Lotus weapon from the Wan family. Though he had figured out the secrets of the Black Lotus, he was ambushed and severely injured. Later, his senior brother helped him and traded for 3 treasures of the Wan family. One of them was the Wan family's unique Great Luo Demon Banquet. However, the Great Luo Demon Banquet actually contained a wisp of soul of a powerful being. The residual soul of the Luo Yen Demon Emperor who claimed to be from the Cloud Demon tribe, tried to take over his consciousness. But he encountered the Nanli Yuan fire and the ending was, of course, a tragedy. Not long after, in order to obtain the fire, the Luoyan demon emperor's residual soul had revealed a big secret. He said that the true hiding place of his soul was in the Wan family's secret place, the Yanma Deep Treasury. There was a treasure there. Now, the old man had brought him and Jianwuk to the Yanma Deep Treasury. And he said that this place contains a demon, and was the key to his black wooden arrow becoming a true spiritual weapon. Could the demon the old man is talking about be the soul of the Luoyan demon emperor? Yang Chen might not have known the level of the Luoyan demon emperor before, but he now knew that the opponent was a true emperor. Even a residual soul of the emperor would be something ordinary. Cultivators would not be able to handle. Although the old man was mysterious and powerful, he was still only an intermediate cultivator. Could he hold against the Luoyan demon emperor? The place contains not a tiger, but the true soul of an emperor. The old man chuckled, looking at Yang Chen who was changing expressions. Go, what are you afraid of? He's nothing. He even killed a super terrifying demon. How much more a residual soul of an emperor? I haven't been able to adapt yet. Yang Chen was speechless. The old man had opened a deep gate of light and said, let's go. Damn it. Yang Chen cursed inwardly. The old man was having him and Jianwuk deal with the demon. Yang Chen calmed down after the initial shock. He thought the Luoyan demon emperor's residual soul must be restricted. Otherwise, why wouldn't it leave? The only explanation was that it couldn't leave, or was sealed. Otherwise, the Wan family wouldn't have been able to steal the demon soul. Thinking this, Yang Chen felt a little more at ease. That's right, if the old man was confident that he and Jianwuk could handle this, it shouldn't be too dangerous. Otherwise, with the old man's level of cultivation, if he were to fight an unrestrained emperor-level soul, he would die before they even met. Careful. Jianwuk reminded them. The fire energy here is extremely dense and contains a murderous aura. Yang Chen nodded. He had felt it too. Let's go. Be careful. After a while, Yang Chen and Jianwuk stood on a large black-red boulder. They looked at the magma flowing below with serious expressions. It didn't take long for Yang Chen and Jianwuk to fully understand the so-called Yanma Deep Treasury. It was too small. The Yanma Deep Treasury was just a small magma lake. However, this magma lake was not ordinary. The fiery magma was full of poisonous souls, which made Yang Chen and Jianwuk's scalps tingle. Moreover, Yang Chen and Jianwuk sensed the aura of the demon. It was unimaginable. Who had such a huge hand to put so many poisonous souls inside the magma lake, and make it form a huge array? Seeing this, Yang Chen understood why the Luoyan demon emperor's soul was trapped. No matter how strong an emperor is, once his soul is trapped here, he'll never escape. The soul poison was an extremely rare spiritual substance. It contained an extremely powerful fire energy. The most terrifying thing about the soul poison was that it could attract and devour the divine sense and soul power of those within a certain range. It was a natural enemy of souls. Once touched by the soul poison, it would rapidly devour the soul power and divine sense. It would also grow seeds that would enter the soul and devour it. Yang Chen swallowed, looking at the magma lake with fear. This was a death magma lake. No cultivator dared approach it. After thinking for a moment, Yang Chen was very puzzled. If this magma lake was so terrifying, how did the Wan family cultivators enter it? If you can't even get in, how did they communicate or trade with the Luoyan demon emperor to obtain the great Luo demon banquet? Though he couldn't think of an answer, Yang Chen was certain that the Wan family had a way. Jianwuk was frowning. The magma lake was filled with soul poison. If they wanted to reach the center, they had to go down there. But to jump into the magma lake full of soul poison was nothing short of suicide. After a long while, Yang Chen was still at a loss. Helpless, he sent a wisp of his consciousness into his spirit space, and asked, Old Rong, do you have any ideas? Humph, Old Rong chuckled. Master, you've forgotten something. Think about the characteristics of the soul poison. Yang Chen immediately thought about the information he had obtained about the soul poison at the Firegate Mountain. After recalling everything, Yang Chen's eyes lit up. Yes, that must be it. Though the soul poison was powerful, it was not without weaknesses. Unlike ordinary spiritual substances, soul poison was extremely repulsed by earth elemental energy. If they had a small boat made from earth element materials, they would be able to travel through the violent magma lake. Unfortunately, Yang Chen didn't have such a thing. However, he possessed the earth element constitution, and the earth demon energy was at its peak. Once he released it around his body, he would be immune to the soul poison in the magma lake. If he was immune, he would be able to go down. Yang Chen smiled. Little K, wait here, it'll go down. Bro, you have a way. Jianwuk asked, surprised. Watch closely. While speaking, Yang Chen jumped down and released his earth demon energy, protecting his body. As Yang Chen descended into the magma lake, the Yin soul poison actively moved away from him. Now, Yang Chen was completely at ease. He sped up and headed toward the center of the magma lake. Human brat, you're quite bold. You actually dared to come here. Suddenly, a cold voice echoed in Yang Chen's ears. Senior, don't misunderstand. I'm here to trade for the Great Luo Demon Banquet, Yang Chen immediately said loudly. The Luo Yin Demon Emperor was about to expose Yang Chen's lies, but he changed his mind. Are the Wan family all dead? How dare they send a mere weakling like you here? While pretending to be angry, the Luo Yin Demon Emperor thought, that's not right. Something must have happened to those Wan family trash. But why did they send a weakling? Is this a test? For a moment, the Luo Yin Demon Emperor couldn't make up his mind. From the moment the Luo Yin Demon Emperor spoke, Yang Chen knew that the opponent had seen through him, but was pretending to be angry. He was clearly planning something. Yang Chen sneered. He continued towards the center of the magma lake, unhurriedly. Yang Chen had traveled for 1,000 meters. He stopped. In front of him was a large vortex. The vortex made strange noises and was covered in red-black bubbles. Moreover, there was no Yin soul poison around the vortex within a 10-meter radius. Could the Luo Yin Demon Emperor's soul be hiding inside the vortex? Yang Chen stared at the strange vortex, full of curiosity. After waiting for a long time, when there was still no movement, Yang Chen spoke, Senior, are you there? The Luo Yin Demon Emperor had been secretly observing Yang Chen. When he didn't find anything wrong, he spoke, Brat, you know the rules, right? Let me see the goods first. Yang Chen had already guessed it. The Wan family had to provide special treasures to trade for the Great Luo Demon Banquet with the Luo Yin Demon Emperor, and what the Luo Yin Demon Emperor needed was nothing more than something that nourished souls. Though such treasures were rare, Yang Chen had them, but he didn't want to take them out. Suddenly, a black wooden arrow appeared in Yang Chen's hand. Senior, this is an ancient spiritual weapon. It is said that the spirit within is in a deep sleep. Perhaps it could be of use to you. Quick, give it here. The Luo Yin Demon Emperor couldn't hold back anymore. He could tell at a glance that the black wooden arrow was a spiritual weapon, an incomplete spiritual weapon. If he swallowed the sleeping spirit within the weapon, his soul could recover significantly. However, Yang Chen didn't throw the black wooden arrow into the vortex. Instead, he looked hesitant. After a while, Yang Chen said hesitantly, Senior, they said that they want 3 Great Luo Demon Banquets in exchange. 3. The Luo Yin Demon Emperor almost cursed out loud. The Great Luo Demon Banquet was formed by condensing his soul power. Don't even mention 3, even condensing 1 is very exhausting with my current soul power. To exchange for 3 Great Luo Demon Banquets. You've got a big mouth. The Luo Yin Demon Emperor became furious and yelled, Brat, are you serious? I was just joking, Yang Chen said timidly. I meant, you have to at least trade 2 Great Luo Demon Banquets. No way. The Luo Yin Demon Emperor was enraged. Seeing that Yang Chen was still bargaining, the Luo Yin Demon Emperor threatened, Brat, do you want to die? Quickly hand over the arrow. Yang Chen pretended to be scared and threw the black wooden arrow away. The black wooden arrow landed into the vortex. Though it disappeared into the lava, Yang Chen could sense black energy entering the arrow through the connection with the arrow. What is that spirit? The Luo Yin Demon Emperor exclaimed in surprise. He released a wisp of his soul into the black wooden arrow, but he couldn't refine the power inside. After being surprised, the Luo Yin Demon Emperor was overjoyed. The more difficult it was to refine the spirit within the black wooden arrow, the more powerful the sleeping spirit was. I've hit the jackpot. With this thought, the Luo Yin Demon Emperor controlled his entire soul and entered the black wooden arrow. Feeling that the black energy surrounding the black wooden arrow was growing, Yang Chen was ecstatic. He unleashed the power of the black wooden arrow. Suddenly, the seemingly still spirit within the black wooden arrow emitted black light. In a blink of an eye, the black light enveloped the Luo Yin Demon Emperor's soul. The black energy started to infiltrate the Luo Yin Demon Emperor's soul, trying to take control. Yang Chen, exerting all his power to control the black wooden arrow's spirit, had sweat beading on his forehead. Usually, a spirit within a spiritual weapon could automatically release secret techniques. However, the black wooden arrow spirit was like an idiot, so Yang Chen had to take control himself. More importantly, this was his first time using the soul-splitting divine power to control a darkwood demonic spirit. Yang Chen dared not be careless. Although Elder Rong had said that with the current strength of the darkwood demonic spirit, controlling the remnant soul of a demon king wasn't difficult, the flame demon emperor was no longer a ruler, only a weak soul remained. What power is this? Under the powerful soul-splitting divine power, the Flame Demon Emperor's intellect was instantly erased. However, remnants of the Flame Demon Emperor's consciousness were still probing. but the probing was getting weaker and weaker. Clearly sensing everything within the Darkwood sword, Yang Chen was ecstatic. This was awesome. He didn't know that he didn't need to use the soul-splitting divine power. The Flame Demon Emperor's soul was too weak. Soul binding. Overjoyed, Yang Chen didn't forget to formally use the soul-binding divine power to control the Darkwood demonic spirit. In a few breaths, the Flame Demon Emperor's soul fragments were completely assimilated, merging into the demonic spirit. Feeling the power of the Darkwood demonic spirit, Yang Chen was stunned. This is too powerful. The soul communication divine power showed that the Flame Demon Emperor's soul fragments still retained some of his memories. Even his consciousness had merged into the demonic spirit. Yang Chen suddenly thought of something. If the Darkwood sword's demonic spirit continues down this path, absorbing more and more powerful soul fragments, what kind of power would it become? Could it become the ultimate ruler? Yang Chen was worried. Master. Suddenly, while Yang Chen was lost in thought, a strange but intelligent voice came from his ears. It was soft, like a little girl's voice. For a moment, Yang Chen didn't react. Could it be? He was using his spiritual sense to check the Darkwood sword. Whoosh! The Darkwood sword suddenly flew out of the mysterious space. It floated before him, gently vibrating. Staring at the Darkwood sword, Yang Chen asked, "Demonic spirit, is that you?" Yang Chen waited for a long time, but there was no reply. Whoosh! Yang Chen grabbed the Darkwood sword, tightly gripping the hilt. He felt an emotion, a confused, fearful, and complex emotion. "Master, can you not call me demonic spirit?" The Darkwood demonic spirit finally spoke, its voice a bit shaky, but there was a hint of affection in the voice. Heh, Yang Chen smiled, exhaling a breath. That's right. This is the power I created. Like a newborn child, even with its divine power, it won't harm me. Feeling good, Yang Chen nodded. I should give you a name. After thinking for a moment, Yang Chen smiled. From now on, I'll call you Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao. The Darkwood demonic spirit was a little excited, even though it didn't know the meaning of the name. Yang Chen named it Xiao Yao because the demonic spirit's two greatest powers came from the phantom fox's soul, and its manifestation was a small fox. Elder Rome, watching all this, was filled with awe. As an ancient spirit who had survived since primordial times, Elder Rome was impressed. In some aspects, Xiao Yao was much stronger than him. Unfortunately, the Darkwood sword's material couldn't compare to the returning Star Dragon, but there were ways to improve it. However, the chances of finding such materials were low. Unless they found an ancient divine wood, it would be difficult to improve the Darkwood sword's body. Remembering an important matter, Yang Chen asked, Xiao Yao, didn't you absorb the Flame Demon Emperor's soul fragments? Check if there is any information about the spirit tablet. Xiao Yao replied carefully, okay. After a while, Yang Chen still hadn't received the answer. Yang Chen, a little puzzled, whispered, Xiao Yao. Master. Xiao Yao replied hesitantly, as if she had done something wrong. Yang Chen became a little anxious. Xiao Yao, what's going on? Could it be that the Flame Demon Emperor's soul fragments didn't have information about the spirit tablet? Xiao Yao was very anxious, almost crying. She had failed the first task her master had given her. Master, I didn't find any information about the spirit tablet in the Flame Demon Emperor's memories. Yang Chen smiled, unconcerned. I already knew that guy was bluffing. If there really was a spirit tablet here, he would have escaped long ago. Seeing that Yang Chen wasn't angry, Xiao Yao breathed a sigh of relief. Even so, Yang Chen was slightly disappointed. He turned and left the center of the lava lake. Coming ashore, Jian Wuk quickly asked, Bro, did you gain anything? Yang Chen laughed, of course. And it's a huge gain. The Darkwood sword has been completely transformed. That's great. Jian Wuk smiled. If Master knew, he would be very excited. Yang Chen casually replied, a bit absent-minded. Elder Gongsun was not only Jian Wuk's uncle but also Yang Chen's master. What a strange relationship. They were both equally loved by their master. However, what Jian Wuk said was true. The Darkwood sword was given to him by Elder Gongsun and was his first sword. After destroying the Flame Demon Emperor, the secret space was basically useless. Without hesitation, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk headed towards the exit. After leaving the secret space, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk arrived at the teleportation platform. After looking around, Yang Chen whispered, where is everyone? In Yang Chen's plan, Elder Gongsun should have taken him and Jian Wuk to Manhan City so they could use the teleportation formation to leave Dongtuan. Not finding Elder Gongsun, Yang Chen patiently waited. With the old man's unpredictable style, he could appear any time. Bro, look. Suddenly, Jian Wuk pointed to the corner of the platform and called out. Following the direction of Jian Wuk's finger, Yang Chen saw a jade slip and a storage ring. Yang Chen quickly picked up the jade slip and the storage ring. He used his spiritual sense to enter the jade slip, and there was only a voice message from Elder Gongsun. Kid, take little K and leave Dongchuan on your own. Use the resources and be careful. The voice was deep and low. It was indeed Elder Gongsun's voice. Yang Chen was dumbfounded. What did the old man mean? He was asking them to leave Dongchuan and go explore the outside world. A sense of loss washed over him. It wasn't that Yang Chen was afraid of going out alone. In fact, after witnessing the power of the Grey Robe and others, he had always yearned to explore the outer world. But this strange way of saying goodbye was unexpected. He was actually a little reluctant to leave the old man, even though the old man was always so harsh with him. The feeling of leaving his family was a bit unbearable, not knowing when they would see each other again. After a moment of thought, Yang Chen sighed. He held the storage ring and became excited. Surely the old man had left him a lot of cultivation resources, and maybe even some life-saving treasures. Thinking of this, Yang Chen's spirits lifted again. But after using his spiritual sense to investigate the ring, Yang Chen was dumbfounded once more. The space within the ring wasn't small, but it was empty. No, it wasn't empty. There was still one object. Whoosh! Suddenly, a purplured cone appeared in Yang Chen's hand. Seeing the familiar purplured cone, Yang Chen's eyes widened in disbelief. Isn't this my own thing? How did it end up with the old man, and why did he put it in a storage ring and give it back to me? He remembered clearly. This purplured cone was something he had obtained from the Sandstorm Kingdom. At first, he thought it was a damaged spiritual artifact. But after Elder Rong examined it, he said it wasn't a spiritual artifact. Yang Chen was confused. How did the old man manage to steal the purplured cone from his storage ring without him noticing? But why did he give it back to him? Could this purplured cone have some special meaning? Just then, Elder Rong's voice came from his mind. Master, is that your cone? What? Elder Rong's words stunned Yang Chen. It's not mine. Yang Chen quickly checked his own storage ring. It was real. His purplured cone was still lying in his storage ring. There were two identical cones. Whoosh! Yang Chen immediately took out his purplured cone and compared the two. Soon, Yang Chen discovered a difference. Both purplured cones were made from a mysterious material. The material was the same, the size and shape were identical. The only difference was the fire pattern on the cone. Moreover, if you didn't look carefully, you wouldn't notice the difference in the fire patterns on the two cones. The purplured fire pattern on Yang Chen's cone, the one he got from the Sandstorm Kingdom, was shaped like a dragon. But the dragon only had one claw. The purplured cone left by Elder Gongsun had a dragon-shaped fire pattern, but the dragon had 3 claws. Bro, what are those? Jianwuk asked curiously. I don't know, Yang Chen shook his head. The only thing he was sure of was that both the purplured cone he got from the Sandstorm Kingdom and the one Elder Gongsun had given him were not ordinary items and must have some special meaning. He just didn't know it yet. After examining the 2 purplured cones to no avail, Yang Chen reluctantly put them into his storage ring. Little K, let's go. Yang Chen called to Jianwuk and carefully left the teleportation platform. Arriving at the outer area, Yang Chen's scalp began to tingle. This was the Dongchuan Imperial Palace. They had come here with Elder Gongsun, unnoticed. But how were they going to leave? If he were alone, he could easily leave the palace using his stealth techniques. But Jianwuk would be a problem. Carefully approaching the gate, Yang Chen released his spiritual sense, carefully probing his surroundings. Yang Chen frowned, feeling uneasy. This was the entrance to the secret realm. According to logic, there should be many experts guarding the entrance. The Wan family was very powerful, and there were many strong cultivators. Why wasn't there anyone here? Could the old man have taken care of all of them? But as Yang Chen expanded his spiritual sense, the shock on his face grew more and more intense. There wasn't a single Wan family cultivator within his spiritual range. No one for meters. After explaining things to Jianwuk, Yang Chen opened the gate and cautiously walked out. Soon, Yang Chen understood. The entire Dongchuan Imperial Palace was empty. All the Wan family cultivators, along with their followers, were gone. They had all fled. Yes, after Wan Xiang was defeated by Elder Gongsun, the Wan family was terrified. The Wan family, who were once like gods in Dongchuan, had fallen. The frightened Wan family cultivators had all fled like stray dogs, and they all fled out of Dongchuan through the teleportation formation in Manhan City. Now, Yang Chen was amused. He and Jianwuk walked out of the Imperial Palace openly and swaggered through the city. After leaving the Imperial Palace, Yang Chen quickly discovered that the entire city was in chaos. Yang Chen ignored the chaos and directly teleported to Manhan City with Jianwuk. Unlike the past, Manhan City was now even more bustling. Many cultivators were leaving Dongchuan in droves. However, because the teleportation formation in Manhan City required 10,000 high-grade spirit stones each time it was activated, it was not something ordinary cultivators could afford. Moreover, each teleportation could only send 5 people, so each person had to pay at least 2,000 high-grade spirit stones. After waiting for half a day, Yang Chen and Jianwok finally found 3 others and gathered 5 people. After collecting 10,000 high-grade spirit stones and paying an extra 100 spirit stones for each person as a handling fee, the white light of the ancient teleportation formation activated. Yang Chen and the other 4 disappeared. After a violent dizziness that lasted for a while, Yang Chen and the others' vision cleared. Before they could even take in their surroundings, they heard a cacophony of voices. Haha, another group of pigs has arrived. I told you, this one is for the Sun family. These young fools probably aren't worth much. Let's give them a try. Damn it, they're all just weak little pigs. What a waste. Old Chen, why don't you take these 5? The next batch is for us. Sun Yun, you're thinking too much. We agreed to take turns. This batch is for our Sun family. I'm really out of luck. I hope these 5 little pigs aren't too much trouble. Sun Yu, are you hoping to get rich with them? Don't forget where they came from. After finally overcoming the spatial turbulence of the teleportation, Yang Chen and the others were stunned. You're going to work in the mines. Jianwok couldn't hold back his anger. Seeing the situation was bad, Yang Chen quickly said, Little K, hold it in. Let's figure out what's going on first. After leaving the teleportation platform, Yang Chen discovered that this city was larger than he had imagined. Moreover, the cultivation levels of the cultivators on the streets were terrifying. There were few body-tempering cultivators, and most were at the martial king level. There were also many martial emperor cultivators. The architectural style here was also different from Dongchuan. It was much more magnificent and bold, with wide roads. There were many shops on both sides of the street, creating a thriving atmosphere. Following the young man in black who claimed to be from the Sun family, Yang Chen and the others arrived at an even more spectacular and magnificent building. The building was actually a huge castle, with a city with an acity feel. There were 10 characters above the main gate. Sun Family Mansion. The doors of the Sun Family Mansion were wide open, with 2 martial king cultivators standing guard at the gate. One of the guards from the group of young men in black smiled and said, Hey! This time we got good stuff, right? A series of sneers came from the other guards. The other guard sneered. You're too short-sighted. Didn't you see his face is still black? You're just asking for trouble. Get in. Sen Yu glanced at Yang Chen and the others, his eyes filled with resentment. You damn fools, he'll turn you into fertilizer. Hearing this, Yang Chen and Jianwok remained calm, but the other 3 cultivators were dumbfounded, their faces pale. After entering the Sun Family Mansion, Yang Chen and the others were led by Sen Yu to a stone tower. The stone tower had 5 stories, and a strange stench permeated the air. After using his identification token, Sen Yu led Yang Chen and the others inside. Yang Chen and Jianwok, who were bold, didn't care. But the other 3 young cultivators turned pale, clearly thinking the stone tower was a prison. They were surrounded by a crowd of people, their voices arguing. It was as if they were nothing but merchandise. Listening to their conversation, Yang Chen's heart sank. How could it be? Why does this teleportation array look like a den of thieves? Yang Chen looked around. This place was clearly an enormous city. A young man with a mole on his left cheek stared at Yang Chen and the others with a sneer. Such bumpkins. Have you never seen such a grand city before? Let's go. If you don't have any valuables, don't think I'll let you off so easily. Upon entering the stone tower, the impatient young man showed no pretense. Hand over your inner worlds. And any spiritual stones you have. But he didn't expect these poor bastards to actually possess any spiritual stones. Why should we? A young cultivator with profound spiritual power couldn't help but retort. Are you kidding me? An inner world is a cultivator's life savings. Some would even sacrifice their own lives for it. Why should you? The young man sneered and, with a casual flick, sent a gust of golden aura past the young cultivator's head. The young man's head split open, and blood splattered everywhere. Even Yang Chen and Jianwok were stunned. The other party was too ruthless. He killed someone at the slightest disagreement. After killing the man, the young man searched the corpse as if Yang Chen and the others were nothing. After thoroughly searching, he only found an inner ring. Inspecting the contents of the ring, he was extremely enraged. You poor pig. Are you this poor? Having no more hope for the others, the young man snorted. Hand it over. All of your inner worlds. Faced with such cruelty and the sight of the dead man, the other 2 young cultivators were trembling. They didn't dare hesitate. They fearfully took out their inner rings and handed them over. Yang Chen and Jianwuk also took out their inner rings. On their way to the Sun Estate, Yang Chen had realized this. He had already stored his inner world and other important items inside the black ring. Jianwuk had done the same, keeping only a ring containing some high-grade snacks and trinkets. After inspecting everyone's inner rings, the young man's expression darkened. He glared at Yang Chen and the others. Sang Mu, throw them into the black gold mine. He didn't want to waste another second. Let's go. Sang Mu, a tall and burly man, looked at Yang Chen and the others with disgust as he dragged them out of the stone tower. A black gold mine, thought Yang Chen. Interesting. Black gold was a rare material in the eastern continent, perfect for crafting dark attribute weapons. The Sun family must have a black gold mine. However, mining black gold was no easy task. Even skilled cultivators could only extract a few pieces in a whole day. Clearly, the young man didn't get any benefits from them and so decided to send them off as laborers. Yang Chen had already made up his mind. He would destroy the Sun family's black gold mine. The local cultivators were cruel and treated the visiting cultivators from the eastern continent like livestock. This was unacceptable. Through this incident, Yang Chen had witnessed the ruthlessness of the fifth continent. Besides, Yang Chen had something else to be concerned about. All the cultivators from the Wan family had left through the teleportation array. Were all of them being treated like this? The Wan family cultivators, with their cultivation being only in the middle stages, were no match for the cultivators here. He concluded that this city, the name of which he didn't know, definitely had powerful figures, maybe even emperors, and possibly more than one. Therefore, even though he was angry about being ambushed, Yang Chen could only endure for now. Even though he had a trump card to deal with emperors, acting prudently was the better option without knowing the situation. After leaving the Sun Estate, Yang Chen and the others were escorted by Sang Mu toward the mine. As they turned into the street, Yang Chen became more shocked. He realized that nearly every street had a fortress. It seemed the city was divided among several powerful families. The city was also unexpectedly large. Even after half a day, they still hadn't reached their destination. It was dark when Yang Chen and the others, under the escort of Sang Mu, finally left the city. Once outside the city, Yang Chen secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Outside the city, he could use his black ring to suppress the Sang Mu, who was only in the late stage of the royal realm, and regain his freedom. But after some consideration, Yang Chen decided to hold back. His goal wasn't just to escape. If possible, retaking this city would be a great option since it was the only exit for the eastern continent. As someone from the eastern continent, Yang Chen didn't want the cultivators from his home to be controlled by these greedy and ruthless cultivators. To Yang Chen's surprise, the black gold mine controlled by the Sun family was 1,000 miles away from the north gate. Sang Mu led Yang Chen and the others into a mine. He completed the handover with the Sun family cultivator in charge. A miner who was familiar with the operation led Yang Chen and the others inside, handing them identity tags. Remember, you must extract at least 4 pieces of black gold every day. The consequences for failing are unimaginable. After giving Yang Chen and the others a warning, the miner said coldly, however, there are rewards for exceeding your quota. Every extra piece of black gold you mine will earn you 100 high-grade spiritual stones. Yang Chen chuckled. He didn't care. The Sun family didn't seem to place much importance on this mine. They only stationed a few cultivators here. Besides the 2 old men in the middle stage, there were only 5 guards at the royal realm. The 2 old men, who were clearly the leaders, glanced at Yang Chen and the others dismissively. They knew those 4 were weaklings and didn't need their attention. If there were any royal realm cultivators, they would have to take action. Yang Chen didn't want to act yet, so he pretended to be obedient. Under the miner's guidance, he entered the dark mine. After descending thousands of meters below ground, Yang Chen and the others finally arrived at the mine. Yang Chen released his spirit sense, discovering that the mine was small. There were more than 10 listless miners scattered around, digging. Bro Jianwuk looked anxiously at Yang Chen, ignoring the other 2 Eastern Continent cultivators. Although Jianwuk didn't say anything, he was clearly asking about Yang Chen's plan. Yang Chen casually glanced at Jianwuk, using his spirit sense to say, "Little K, the black gold mine is a good thing. It contains a significant amount of dark origin energy. We can use it to greatly improve our cultivation." Hearing this, Jianwuk looked at Yang Chen in surprise. He knew that Yang Chen's devouring soul was powerful, but this was a mine. Could it devour the mine? After careful inspection, Yang Chen discovered that among the 10 or so miners, only one had reached the royal realm, and his cultivation had been suppressed. He even had trouble digging. Enough! Yang Chen, who had been holding back his anger, suddenly roared. Jianwuk, equally furious, immediately summoned his dragon mace and targeted a miner not far away. Yang Chen also unleashed his blackwood arrow. His target wasn't the miners, but the 2 useless cultivators from the eastern continent. The reason why Yang Chen acted so ruthlessly was because he didn't want the terrifying devouring ability of his primordial demonic dragon soul to be known by outsiders. Yang Chen, how dare you kill our fellow countrymen? A young cultivator from the Royal Valley, terrified, yelled in disbelief. Too bad. Yang Chen didn't give him a chance to explain. The black arrow turned into a black flash and pierced through his head. In a short amount of time, Yang Chen and Jian Wuk had killed all the miners in the mine. Finally, Yang Chen said with a sigh. Looking at Jian Wuk, who was still confused, he said, "Little K, guard the entrance." Jian Wuk, knowing what he meant, stored his dragon mace and stood guard at the entrance, preventing anyone from coming down. Yang Chen then unleashed his primordial demonic dragon soul. As he activated his devouring ability, Yang Chen discovered dark energy rising from the ground. This dark energy, containing a form of dark origin, was uncontrollably drawn toward Yang Chen's head and into the black vortex. Rumble. Perhaps because the black gold mine was being drained of its energy, the entire mine began to vibrate slightly. As more and more dark origin energy was being devoured by the primordial demonic dragon soul, the tremors became more violent. Even the surrounding rock walls started to crack. Above the black gold mine, two old men on the ground suddenly stood up, their faces filled with shock. Old Zhu, did you feel that? The black-robed old man, who was called Old Zhu, was the person in charge of the black gold mine. He looked serious. Old Sen, what's going on? Something might be happening in the mine. You should go and check it out. Impossible. We've been managing this mine for so long. How could those weaklings cause any trouble? Old Zhu, it might not be those miners. I suspect the mine might have a problem. I'll go take a look. Old Sen, not thinking too much of it, summoned his weapon. On the ground, some of the guards felt the mine shaking and almost fell over. Old Sen didn't pay any attention to the guards and headed toward the entrance of the mine. Rumble. The tremors grew more violent. Jian Wuk looked at Yang Chen worriedly. Bro, is everything okay? Yang Chen, who was enjoying this, replied with a smile. Don't worry. It's fine. It's not far to the surface. Breaking through is not a problem. If the heavens give, but you don't take, you'll be punished. If he didn't seize this opportunity, he would be struck by lightning. Besides the abundance of dark origin energy within the black gold mine, Yang Chen also wanted to verify if his Dantian could actually achieve a true origin state. The true energy within his Dantian, unlike that of other cultivators, was already a true energy mass. The density of his true energy was comparable to even the latest age experts in the middle realm. The only problem was the intensity of his true energy, which was due to his low cultivation level. Even the latest age experts in the middle realm did not have a true energy mass. If a latest age expert in the middle realm condensed his true energy into a true energy mass, he would be close to breaking through to the emperor realm. These people were called half-step emperors. Of course, they were still only half-step emperors. In the martial world, those who want to break through from the middle realm to the emperor realm faced four major hurdles. The first was true origin, and the second was the 5 element stars. These two hurdles, although difficult, could still be overcome with effort. The third and fourth, however, were related to the strength of one's divine sense and soul power. The strength of divine sense and soul power could not be obtained through hard work or cultivation resources. They were linked to one's natural aptitude. These 4 hurdles elevated the position of the emperor realm. Those who could not break through would have to use secret arts or external forces, but these would only result in a fake emperor, who could not be compared to a true emperor. More importantly, their cultivation would never improve again. This was why fake emperors were often looked down upon. The Sun family was strong because, besides their ancestor who was a true emperor, they had several fake emperors. They not only possessed a high-grade mineral vein, but also controlled several mineral veins containing black gold. Although Old Sen was a branch family member of the Sun family and not well regarded by his family, he was sent to the black gold mine as the vice leader. He had ambition. He wanted to become a true emperor. Old Sen was actually a half-step emperor, who had already overcome 2 of the 4 hurdles. His 5 element stars and soul power met the requirements. After entering the mine, Old Sen, being a careful person, released his divine sense. He slowly descended along the mine shaft. After descending meters, Old Sen, with a face full of shock, stopped. At this moment, his divine sense was clearly detecting the tremors below. What the hell? Those 2 kids? Old Sen asked, then realized. Weren't those the 2 new miners earlier? What's that black thing in that man's hand? A spiritual weapon. And the 5 souls above that pale-faced guy's head. What are they? They can actually devour the black gold mine's dark origin energy. Where did these 2 kids come from? After being shocked, Old Sen was filled with ecstasy. It was like a huge pie had suddenly fallen from the sky. I'm going to get rich. Those two are too fat. I'm going to get rich. Let's go. With that, Olsen suddenly sped up. His body transformed into a blur and he quickly descended the mine shaft. At the same time, Jianwuk sensed an incomparably powerful aura approaching rapidly. Before Jianwuk could even warn him, Yang Chen had already sensed it as well. The main reason was that Olsen didn't conceal his aura at all. He didn't think much of Yang Chen and Jianwuk, who were only at the latest stage of the Dantian realm. They were nothing. At this moment, Olsen had only one thing in mind: to kill these two fat sheep and take all the benefits. He had to be quick. If Old Shu found out, he would have to share the benefits. Sensing the other party's aura, Yang Chen was slightly nervous. He doesn't seem like an ordinary cultivator in the middle stage. Strange, are all middle-stage cultivators outside the eastern continent this strong? Yang Chen didn't have time to dwell on that. He unsheathed his blackwood arrow, holding it tightly. At the same time, Yang Chen asked, "Little Yao, can you sense the aura that's rapidly approaching?" "Definitely a middle-stage peak cultivator. If I use my split soul technique, can I suppress him?" Little Yao replied indifferently, "Master can do it." "Definitely can do it. Absolutely can do it." Hearing this, Yang Chen breathed a sigh of relief, but Yang Chen didn't show it. He still pretended to be ignorant and continued to use his primordial demonic dragon soul to devour the dark origin energy. He then used his spirit sense to communicate with Jianwuk, telling him not to be nervous. Closer and closer. When Olsen was about 100 miles from the bottom of the mine, Yang Chen attacked. At this time, Little Yao's spirit sense was able to lock onto the target. Swoosh! The blackwood arrow in Yang Chen's hand flashed with a strange black light. The black light shot out and headed straight for the mine shaft. Another spiritual weapon. Olsen sneered. He didn't care that they had discovered him. After all, he wasn't concealing his aura, and he didn't think these two were a threat. However, Olsen was slightly wrong. These two weaklings were actually so confident that they dared to attack first. The black light reached Olsen in the blink of an eye, but Olsen simply sneered. He didn't take this attack seriously. He swiped his hand, not even using any true energy, intending to swat this black light away with his bare hand. Soon, Olsen's face showed an odd expression. The black light could not be deflected. It seemed to be intangible, continuing toward his heart. A spirit sense attack. Olsen was even more shocked. A mere puppet-like puppet controlling a puppet. How powerful could it be? Can it even shake my divine sense? With that thought, Sanchang slightly guarded his sea of consciousness. What? Sanchang was shocked. This divine sense attack could penetrate his sea of consciousness. What's going on? Sanchang gasped. He was about to reach the golden stage of divine sense. How could this attack penetrate? At that moment, Sanchang became serious. He dared not let that eerie black light get any closer to his sea of consciousness. Then, his expression changed. Damn it, that's not a divine sense attack, it's a soul attack. The strange black light was not entering his sea of consciousness, it was targeting his soul. A soul attack. He had no fear. His soul was as solid as fire, it had long reached the golden stage. How could he be afraid of a soul attack from a kid in the sub-celestial realm? Even if the attack was from a higher realm, so what? In an instant, under Sanchang's control, his soul in the center of his sea of consciousness began to glow. He was confident that he could block this soul attack. Then, with a strange cry, Sanchang completely lost control of his consciousness. He was like a puppet, his power expanding. His eyes opened, a clear light shining from them. At the same time, the black light from the wooden arrow in Yang Chen's hand faded away. Yang Chen, who had been tense, dared not ask earlier. "Little Yao, how are you?" With a whoosh, before Little Yao could speak, a figure appeared in front of Yang Chen. Kneeling heavily, Sanchang said respectfully, "Greetings, Master." Yang Chen burst out laughing and released a long sigh of relief. "Success." Little Yao said happily. Yang Chen nodded repeatedly, praising Little Yao for being great. Little Yao was happy to be praised. The black wooden arrow began to dance in Yang Chen's hand. Jianwuk, who had witnessed this, was stunned. "Bro, what is this power? You can control a mid-level expert. What kind of secret technique is that?" Ignoring Jianwuk's shock, Yang Chen looked at Sanchang kneeling before him and said, "Get up." Sanchang stood up, his movements powerful and forceful. "What is your name? Introduce yourself. And tell me about the Sun family and their situation." Sanchang said loudly, "Master, my name is Sanchang. I am a rogue heavenly Tao master. I am from the Sun family, but I don't like them. My cultivation is at the half-emperor realm. I have completed 2 of the 4 paths. My 5 internal organs are near the celestial heart, and my divine sense is near the celestial level. My chi is slow because I lack resources. I'm still a ways from condensing a true source. He was about to continue, but Yang Chen interrupted him. Half-Emperor. Yang Chen was shocked and exclaimed. He had thought San Chang was just an ordinary nascent soul cultivator. He didn't expect him to be a half-emperor. Moreover, he had already completed 2 of the 4 paths to the true emperor realm. His divine sense was also close, lacking only a true source. With a little training, he would become a true emperor. Yang Chen laughed. His first follower would soon be a true emperor. True source. Darkness. That was not a problem for Yang Chen. It was a great surprise. Many of his original plans could now be easily implemented. With a thought, Yang Chen retracted his primordial demonic dragon soul. The mine, which had been shaking violently, calmed down. Sanchang, is it easy for you to handle the people in charge of the mountain valley and their guards? Sanchang confidently said, Master, it's as easy as turning my hand. Yang Chen, with an idea, excitedly said, go and take care of them all. Yes. Sanchang turned into a shadow and headed towards the mine entrance. Watching Sanchang leave, Jianwuk finally recovered. He looked at Yang Chen and asked urgently, what kind of sorcery did you use? How long can you control him? Seeing Jianwuk's shocked face, Yang Chen laughed. Little K, as long as I don't die, he will never betray me. How is that possible? Jianwuk was dumbfounded. What kind of power was that? Not even the legendary god's decree had such power. Yang Chen explained, Little K, it's a divine power from the spirit of the black wooden arrow. It's a treasure I found in the god's mountain. After explaining briefly, Yang Chen had no time for Jianwuk. He felt the movement of the 5 souls within his body. He saw wisps of black energy emerging from the primordial demonic dragon soul, merging into the dead soul chi. Yang Chen was almost crying with excitement. Finally. It's starting. In the god's mountain, the primordial demonic dragon soul had absorbed countless energy. Yang Chen was worried. He didn't expect that, after leaving Dongchuan, his first time using the devouring ability would be rewarded. As the dead soul chi absorbed the black energy from the primordial demonic dragon soul, it became more refined. Can it evolve into a true source? Yang Chen watched the dead soul chi intently. Jianwuk was shocked. How is it possible? The spirit's power is so amazing. His dragon rod was also an ancient spiritual artifact. After years, it was about to awaken. He wondered what powers it would have. Unfortunately, Jianwuk didn't know that most spirit artifacts didn't have divine powers. Those that did were extremely rare. With anticipation, Yang Chen realized that after the primordial demonic dragon soul released the black energy into the dead soul chi, nothing else happened. Although the dead soul chi had become round, it still hadn't made the final breakthrough. Too bad. It was so close. Yang Chen sighed. Of course, there was a way to quickly evolve his dead soul chi into a true source. He just had to activate the primordial demonic dragon soul and use its devouring ability to directly absorb the dark source, then merge it into the dead soul chi. But, that wasn't what Yang Chen wanted. If he did that, his hard-earned dead soul chi would be wasted, even if it evolved into a true source. It was better to cultivate slowly and gradually increase the strength of his dead soul chi. Suddenly, Yang Chen had an idea. The dark source from the black gold ore. Could he use it to help San Chang? Among the 4 paths of a true emperor, only evolving his true chi into a true source was difficult for San Chang. As for whether San Chang's dark chi would be impure, that was not his concern. He needed a strong fighter to help him open up this place. The more Yang Chen thought about it, the more feasible it seemed. If San Chang advanced to the golden stage, he would be much stronger. However, Yang Chen immediately thought of a problem. If San Chang advanced to the golden stage, would he break free of Little Yao's control? Little Yao, if San Chang breaks through to the golden stage, will he break free of my control? Yang Chen asked anxiously. Master, that won't happen. His soul has been completely changed and enslaved. Little Yao replied proudly. That's good. Yang Chen was relieved. Not long after, San Chang returned to the black gold mine. He bowed to Yang Chen. Master, everyone in the mountain valley has been eliminated. Good. Yang Chen said loudly. The Sun family wouldn't know about the changes in the black gold mine for a while. After a pause, a black pill appeared in Yang Chen's hand. He said, San Chang, sense the pill. This is a pill to enhance your divine sense. How many do you need to reach the golden stage? A pill to enhance divine sense. San Chang took the pill and sensed its power. After a moment, San Chang said excitedly, Master, I only need 5, or maybe even 4. San Chang was very confused. Why did his master, who was only in the sub-celestial realm, have such powerful pills? Such pills were rare even in the capital cities. If they did exist, they were ridiculously expensive. 5 is enough. Yang Chen was surprised. Without hesitation, he took out a jade bottle and 4 black pills. He remembered that the second elder had given them to him. At that time, he had told him to use them to improve his divine sense when he reached the nascent soul realm. Yang Chen didn't expect these pills, which he didn't think were anything special, to actually help San Chang reach the golden stage. Although San Chang's divine sense was close to the golden stage, it did not diminish the power of these pills. Receiving 5 valuable pills, San Chang looked at Yang Chen with even more respect. Don't just stand there like an idiot. Hurry up and refine them. Seeing San Chang's dazed look, Yang Chen urged him. I'll refine them now. San Chang said a little sheepishly, but did not hesitate. San Chang calmed his mind, swallowed the pills, and refined their power. The pills' power was much better than he had expected. He originally thought he needed 4 or 5 pills. Now, it seemed like 3 would be enough. As the pills were refined, Yang Chen noticed that the invisible pressure emanating from San Chang was becoming stronger. Even with his true qi, he and Jianwuk were finding it difficult to resist this invisible pressure. Damn it! Yang Chen was helpless. San Chang's divine sense was clearly at the final moment of breakthrough. He couldn't control it. Master, Lao Rong said, the pressure of golden divine sense is terrifying. He needs a force to balance it, a balancing force. Yang Chen was confused. Lao Rong had mentioned this before. What is a balancing force? Lao Rong summoned the Kuei Xing Tower and placed it above Yang Chen's head. The miniature Kuei Xing Tower emitted a gray light that enveloped Yang Chen and Jianwuk. Shocked, Yang Chen suddenly could no longer feel the pressure emanating from San Chang. Lao Rong, what's going on? Yang Chen asked anxiously. Lao Rong smiled. This is my divine power. It doesn't have any offensive power, but it has strong defense. Not just ordinary weapons, but even divine sense attacks cannot break this defense. Yang Chen was amazed. This Kuei Xing barrier was too powerful. But thinking about it, even Little Yao, after merging with the soul of the phantom devil fox, had an incredibly powerful divine power. There was no reason why Lao Rong wouldn't have one. This old thing is really hiding something. Yang Chen thought. He just revealed it now. Yang Chen smiled happily. Now, he had 2 powerful spiritual artifacts. Both of them had divine powers and could cooperate with each other. One for attack, one for defense. Previously, although he knew that Little Yao's divided soul ability could suppress even a celestial emperor, he hadn't been confident. Not that he doubted the power of Little Yao's divided soul ability, but because it had many limitations. The range of Little Yao's divided soul ability was limited by his own cultivation. Once activated, it could only attack targets within 100 meters. This was not a problem for powerful true emperor cultivators, but even weaker nascent soul cultivators. As long as they were cautious, they wouldn't need to get close to Yang Chen, and could kill him in minutes. But now, with Lao Rong's Kuei Xing barrier, it was different. He could lure in nascent soul or even celestial emperor experts, and then ambush them with Little Yao's divided soul ability. Excited, Yang Chen suddenly realized something. He asked, Lao Rong, can your Kuei Xing barrier block any attack from a celestial emperor? Lao Rong smiled mysteriously. Master, you underestimate the Kuei Xing barrier. With enough spirit crystals, even a divine spirit cultivator would not be able to break it. What? Even divine spirit experts can't break it. Yang Chen was stunned. Isn't that invincible? Unfortunately, Yang Chen was so happy that he forgot about the condition Lao Rong mentioned. Blocking a divine spirit expert's attack required enough spirit crystals. Yang Chen didn't even have a low-grade spirit crystal. Spiritual artifacts used divine powers required a lot of energy. For example, Little Yao's energy was soul power. However, Little Yao also had a different divine power, the devouring ability. Yang Chen didn't need to worry about that. Also, Little Yao had merged with the soul of the phantom devil fox and had enough soul power to recover. Energy was extremely important for spiritual artifacts. Once their energy was exhausted, they would fall asleep. That's why spirit artifacts rarely used their divine powers unless necessary. Inside the Kuei Xing barrier, Yang Chen watched San Chang's breakthrough. Lao Rong was in pain. Maintaining such a strong Kuei Xing barrier required 1 high-grade spirit crystal every minute. His spirit crystal reserves were low. A moment later, Yang Chen suddenly noticed that the gray light around his body had disappeared. The Kuei Xing tower above his head had also returned to his dantian. Lao. Yang Chen was about to ask, but stopped. He could feel that the pressure from San Chang was completely within his tolerance range. San Chang had successfully broken through. He opened his eyes, and 2 black beams shot out. He seemed surprised. He looked at Yang Chen, quickly composed himself, and floated in front of him. He respectfully said, "Thank you, Master, for your help." Yang Chen nodded and helped San Chang up. Then, Yang Chen asked, San Chang, if you had a large amount of dark source, could your chi evolve into a true source? Dark source. San Chang was excited. A large amount of dark source. However, a dark source bead only had a little dark source. Using dark source beads would be too much. It wasn't worth it. Although he was hesitant, San Chang still said, Master, if there really is a large amount of dark source, evolving into a true source would be easy. Yang Chen smiled and activated his primordial demonic dragon soul. A vortex appeared above Yang Chen's head. As the devouring ability was used, a large amount of black chi emerged from the ground and surrounding stone walls, gathering towards Yang Chen. San Chang was completely stunned. This black chi was actually dark source. Master Soul can actually extract the dark source from the black gold mine. San Chang. Yang Chen shouted, controlling his primordial demonic dragon soul. He condensed the black chi, the dark source, into a ball and sent it towards San Chang. Realizing what was happening, San Chang was overjoyed. He quickly circulated his cultivation technique and began to absorb the dark source into his body. As he absorbed more and more dark source, his body began to emit a faint black glow. The ground and stone walls began to shake violently. Yang Chen ignored this and continued to urge his primordial demonic dragon soul to extract more dark source from the black gold mine. With a loud rumble, the unstable mine finally collapsed. Unfortunately, even if these spatial tears swallowed Yang Chen, they wouldn't cause any substantial harm to the trio. After a while, the black light on Yang Chen became increasingly intense. While Yang Chen was still confused, Rong Lao took control of the energy and slammed it into Yang Chen's head, boosting his cultivation again. A terrifying wave of power erupted from Yang Chen, and the spatial tears around them instantly shattered. The force was immense, spreading in all directions, reaching the sky. In the blink of an eye, Yang Chen and the others found themselves in a vast, open space. The spatial tears were gone, and all the surrounding rocks had disappeared. Above them was a clear, cloudless sky. Completely stunned, Yang Chen looked around and realized they were in a huge crater. Jianwuk was also dumbfounded. What power is this? It's terrifying. An entire hill just vanished. Is this Yang Chen's strength? At the same time, in the distant Lu city, all cultivators were shaken, including the Sun family. Many powerful figures, even those in seclusion, were alarmed. This, who has broken through to the true Emperor realm. I've never heard of anyone in Lu city with the ability to do that so quickly. Not only quickly, probably not in 100 years. Could it be a powerful outsider passing by and breaking through? That's too coincidental. No, even if an outsider broke through, why would they choose to do it here, in the wilderness? The three strongest families of Lu city, the old patriarchs, were perplexed. Since a true emperor has emerged, we must go and offer our congratulations. The three patriarchs of the Xin, Tian, and Han families, all true emperor realm cultivators, soared into the sky and flew towards the north of Lu city. When the three patriarchs arrived at the scene, they were stunned. Their expressions immediately turned grim.